Obviously on Tuesday, you were adamant that you wanted to play as long as there was even a slim chance. What changed as the week went forward?
I didn't like that decision. That's it.
What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and today we got to talk about Luka Doncic and Mark Cuban. Now, the Mavs were officially eliminated from playoff contention. As you know, they were doing a tank job the other night. All the stars was out. Luka only played a few minutes, and there's actually a league investigation going on right now because, you know, if they would have made the postseason and barely got in, then that 10th overall draft pick or top 10 draft pick or whatever it is would not be protected against the New York Knicks, and the Knicks could bolster their roster even more. And you know they're already salty about the Jalen Brunson thing over there in New York. But we finally heard from Luka, and we heard from Jason Kidd the other day. I'll play Kidd's video again at the end, but we're going to listen to what Luka had to say today. And it's a response, you know, to what Mark Cuban was saying. And we know this is Mark Cuban's doing as far as sitting out the players and trying to tank for Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, one of those guys. But the other day he said something interesting. He said, you know, Luka's great. He feels like he wants to be in Dallas, but they have to earn his trust. And it sounds like they might have lost a little bit not playing until there was absolutely no chance. Check this out.
That decision, that's it.
You're talking about the decision to sit guys?
Yeah.
Was it discussed with you before the decision was made?
Yeah.
And they basically said, hey, we hear you, but we're gonna do what they think's best?
Yeah, I mean, we came to agreement, so it's all good.
Is it any different now that you do know the Thunder have won twice and it wouldn't have mattered? Does that change your mind at all, or is it more about the decision when it was made?
I don't know. My mind right now is somewhere else. So.
Luka, when we talked to Cuban the other day, he said, you know, obviously they want to keep you forever, but essentially they have to earn your loyalty. How do you feel about kind of the direction this franchise is going and what needs to happen to make you comfortable that this can be a long-term fit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the report. I don't know who. Somebody said that I was going to address the trade. It was funny, you know, because I didn't know that was true. I didn't say it.
I didn't say it. I know. To be very clear.
I don't know. Sources said it.
No. To be very clear. I want to get this straight, because seriously, I want to get this straight. Never did I say, hey, Luka is indicating that you're going to request a trade. What I said is, if they don't get this right over the next year, there's a fear that you could come to them as Anthony Davis did in New Orleans, James Harden did in Houston, Kevin Durant just did in Brooklyn, and say, hey, if we don't have a chance to win a championship, you know, something's got to change.
I know what you're saying, but so, I'm happy here, so there's nothing to worry.
That's the NBA. People are going to get frustrated. The best competitors are frustrated. Dirk, when we lost, never left the season happy. You know, we didn't always have great chemistry every single season. That's just the nature of the NBA.
You felt the need to talk to him a little bit more, communicate with him a little bit more.
I talk to Luka all the time.
What sense do you get from him in terms of long-term optimism?
Look, players don't talk like that. You know, it's just like, hey, I'm here for the next 17 years. You know, he'd like to be here the whole time, but we got to earn that.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
You had like hundreds of fans from Slovenia tonight in the arena. They're trying to learn to understand what happened tonight. You feel sorry for them in any way because the game probably wasn't as they expected before they traveled for thousands of miles and a lot of money?
Yeah, that's a tough call. It's a great question. I don't think Luka played last year. And so just understanding he wanted to play and he played, but just understanding there's a different plan in place and things changed in the league quickly. And so things changed this morning with the direction that we were going into. And so unfortunately, not unfortunately, but he's part of the team, and he has to understand that, and he did. But he played 14 more minutes than he did last year when this game took place.
Yeah, so guys, I feel like Luka answered those questions really well. He said he didn't know nothing about the report asking about a trade request, but a player's not going to show their hand before they want you to know it, So maybe Luka didn't say nothing about it. Maybe nobody in his camp leaked it or whatever, but at the same time, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. You have to look at the roster. You have to look at what's in front of you. This team literally just knocked off Phoenix last year in the playoffs, and they got handled by the Warriors, but they were one series win away from going to the NBA Finals. When you look at it from that perspective, they didn't just take a step back where okay, I got to add this piece. We missing this one thing on the team. No, this team went from a conference championship round to not even making the postseason in one season, and you still had your main star. And if you looked at it on paper last year, if a lot of people looked at it on paper and say, oh man, they gonna add Kyrie Irving next year too, then you'd be like, oh yeah, they in the playoffs. But they have gutted their team, man. You take Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, all these guys off the team. When you bring a team into training camp, you kind of want to go into it with your core. And they had some critical moving parts over the last season. Yeah, they went into training camp without Brunson. They brought in Christian Wood. They brought in some other players. So you thought maybe they might not be as good as they were last year, but they'll be competitive in the West. They'll be, because a lot of people thought Sacramento and them wouldn't be ready this year. But they added some bonus, and now a team like Sacramento has replaced them. I feel like they took so many steps back bringing in Kyrie Irving. And he's saying he wants to run it back with Kyrie Irving. Not Luka, but Mark Cuban saying, they plan on signing Kyrie. So I think not signing Brunson started a chain of bad events for the organization, honestly. Cuban can say what he wants. 4 years, $56 million. That was the magic number. He could have done it at the beginning of last season, and none of this would have happened. They would have had Brunson, under contract for 4 seasons. And, his dad would just be coaching in New York, and he'd be a player for Dallas. But after he blew up, it was too late, man. And, you see Luka saying he missed Brunson a whole lot. So already a player that he loved playing with is gone. You have to look at 2024 and take that report really serious, because you can't help but think if they aren't in the postseason next year, then the organization has some decisions to make. Just because you were trending up so much one season ago, and the fall off was just like, it was an epic fall off. Like them dudes, man, and it's not looking up for next season. It looks like they'll be in this same predicament next year. They can't guard anyone, so they have to make some roster moves. I saw they're not going to bring Christian Wood back, but oh man, I just don't know. I just don't know who they'll get. They need some tough players that don't mind Luka and Kyrie dribbling and shooting. You need some rebounders, 3-and-D guys, and rim protectors. So I don't know what they're going to do. They got their work cut out for them, because that roster's a mess right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.